Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host Nathan B. Butler. This is another of these episodes where basically what we're doing is we're going back to a topic we've seen before and looking at another version of it or another variant of it that we haven't seen before that has entered my collection since then. These are very short episodes, and in this case it is one of two so far that we're going to be looking at here that are addressing basically a Star Wars fan-made documentary. Although, in this case, you may recall that I thought that it wasn't really so much a fan-made documentary because it assumes that the person is a fan and is not going to be a jerk to fans, but kind of a whole other thing. You can look at the original episode to get my thoughts on the content of this particular documentary about fans or fan documentary. In this case, we were talking about something I covered back in episode number 270 from the Star Wars Home Video Library, if you want to go back and find that information, and that was a documentary called A Galaxy Far, Far Away. This was the 2000 DVD release that we looked at back then. It has a few relatively minor bonus features to go with it. It is from Vanguard, as far as the publisher goes for that. Then there was a 10th anniversary special edition, not 10 years later, but 9 years later in 2009, which was this one that we also looked at in the same episode. More bonus features to this one. By this point it is through Cinevolve. Yeah, Cinevolve Studios. But this was a documentary that was originally released, as I mentioned, in 2000. And that begs the question, as it did with the Stars of Star Wars last episode, it begs the question, well, wait a second, does that mean perhaps that there was a VHS equivalent of this, perhaps? And yes, there was, at least in 2000, and that was this. This is a new product that has entered my collection. I believe it came in here quite a while ago through Matt Fry, if I remember correctly. This may have been one I hunted down on eBay, but I think that was just the DVDs. I think this came through Matt Fry. If I'm wrong, please correct me if I happen to have mentioned that before. So it says pretty much the same stuff as on the DVD that we have looked at. It lacks the DVD logo in the corner, or symbol in the corner, but again it has that tagline, a must-have companion for Star Wars fans, A Galaxy Far, Far Away, and then the rating of 3 stars, incredible, clever, from Film Threat magazine, who, oddly enough, were behind, the Film Threat was behind the release of the second one we're going to see here next time that we had looked at back then, that we have a new couple of releases to look at for. There's our spine, A Galaxy Far, Far Away, with the Vanguard Company logo there. Same thing on the other side. Top is just the title. The back is essentially laid out more or less the same way as the back of the DVD, just, you know, with a little bit more space on the DVD because it's not as narrow, and information about the DVD bonus features, which do not exist on here. The VHS is just the documentary with no bonus features at all, not from either of the DVD releases. Got a quote up here from buddyhead.com, quote from Film Threat magazine, few images from it, featuring the music of, and then special appearances by, mostly we'll talk about that later, but no, look at episode 270. The special appearances are, whether you could count that as actual special appearances by choice. Then you've got the information about it that we saw before, runtime information here that we will come back to, cast crew information, Vanguard. This is the Cinema Guild, also down here, with some copyright information and whatnot with the UPC. Now, there are two things I'm going to call bullshit on this particular item, this particular release. One of them is a bullshit item that it actually shares with the others. This says runtime 80 minutes. This says runtime 80 minutes. Now, they have different bonus features, so you would assume that 80 minutes must be referring to the documentary itself as 80 minutes. And they spend a lot of time in this documentary talking about Star Wars fans and compensating for things and whatnot. And it's funny, they would talk about compensating for things, given the fact that these say they run 80 minutes for the documentary, but it's actually more like 60 minutes plus credits. So nowhere near the 80 minutes being advertised here. But okay, whatever, they exaggerated. Fine. I may have even mentioned that back in episode 270. The VHS does the same thing. This has no bonus features, so there's no way they're talking about anything with like the documentary and bonus features combined, because there are none to speak of, also listed as 80 minutes. What's weird about this is that this VHS, and I have checked it multiple times, it's not like I'm delusional here, this is basically just a VHS of the documentary, which is in English, with no subtitles at all, in this form right here. But for whatever reason, I think there must have been a label mix-up at some point, because the label on here is for the same program, not for the same target audience / country, languages, or even runtime listed. Check out this kind of weird label. See if you can spot the weirdness. A galaxy far, far away. You do have legalese stuff here, all in English here. You have the distributor address and website down here. The copyright here, though, is 2002. And if you look up here, it says Argentina, 1994, 105 minutes, color drama, Spanish with English subs not rated. What the hell does the 1994 have to do with anything? The 2002 have to do with anything, is that maybe it took 2 years maybe to put this out in Spanish with English subtitles in Argentina, though that'd be odd, because that, instead of it being just, here's the English audio with Spanish subtitles, it's, we're going to dub the whole thing in Spanish and then give you English subtitles in case you... What? I really kind of wonder what the hell is going on with this label. It's also noted here, interestingly enough, as 105 minutes. So if the packaging for the VHS and the packaging for both DVDs overestimate it by nearly 20 minutes of content, this sucker is overcompensating and saying that there's about 45 minutes of content that presumably wouldn't exist on an Argentinian Spanish version, and definitely don't exist on what's actually on here, which is the English language, no subtitles, regular version. It's just weird. And it's hard to track down the provenance of something like this because, like I said, I got it secondhand. I believe it came through Matt Fry. Just odd. But suffice to say, it just made a sound that is somewhat appropriate, perhaps, to the content there, so I'll leave that in. It's just odd, There apparently is a VHS version of the 2000 release, except the one that's in my collection appears to be something where the label doesn't match the content really at all. I mean, it is a galaxy far, far away. That's not the right runtime, but neither were the other ones. That's not the right language and subtitle notation. Not sure where the 1994 thing comes in. It's just really weird. It makes me wonder if there was some kind of thing where there was some kind of legal thing where they were trying to get around something and put that label on it, or if it was just a mistake. Either way, a little bit odd, but suffice to say, a VHS copy does exist, apparently, for a galaxy far, far away, and it is now part of my Star Wars home video library. Next time, we'll take a look at another of these documentaries about fans, this one with a little bit more of a fan leaning, as we look at a VHS copy and a UK DVD copy of a documentary we looked at around the same time, Star Wars. With that, we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the home video viewers, who hopefully don't exaggerate their... Nope, not gonna... No. May the Force be with the home video viewers. That's it.